the problem is, in my view, I still think it's not been well thought through or designed in a way that delivers that consistent experience that humans do. I think the technology is there personally.
Yeah.
If you design it right, and you ensure that you've got all the right governance and your brand personality built within that tech to be able to deliver the kind of service you need for your customers.
Yeah, I think two really interesting things. So, did the AI that called you from an outbound call, did it have an Indian accent or a Nigerian accent or a South African accent?
It's interesting. It was a London accent, and I think that I mean, we were discussing this the other day, weren't we? Where we talked about the fact that we can now provide a much localized service to every demographic out there because you've got the ability to, deliver any accent. So if you are from Birmingham, and you get a cold call, you might appreciate that the AI is using your own accent to kind of interact with you.
The Brummy twang will come out. And I guess the second thing in what you just said, the other observation I make, you're right about, I think what's happening now is people are using processes to do the AI. So they're deploying the AI as a process would be deployed internally. They're not necessarily designing it from the customer's perspective, which is why it's still probably a bit clunky, not as fluid, because it's following an internal process or diagram or flowchart because of what the company wants to do, rather than, again, understanding fully what the customer's trying to do.
Yeah, and I think the way you kind of overcome this and the way you do this properly from experience now is you feed the large language model all your conversations you've had. You can go back 5 years, 10 years, whatever you like, and get AI to really understand what those interactions are like between your customer and your agents. And that's really the data that you need to feed it, as well as making sure your knowledge or all of your systems are correctly up to date with the right data, to then be confident enough to be able to expose this to your customers, because it's learned enough to know what to do in certain situations. Because actually what we want is, as you pointed out, rather than have workflows that are very rigid, we need AI agents to be more autonomous in terms of being able to provide an end outcome for you as a consumer, rather than having to shift you to a human agent just because, I can't answer this question.
Yeah. And we've seen that already with badly deployed voice bots, poorly executed poorly executed natural language IBR systems, and these kind of things that are just still quite rigid in terms of, I don't understand, computer doesn't understand, let's move it along. So just building on that, and because remember, this podcast is all about how do we win and keep customers. It's about relationships, right?